you know, especially that first day when we had a lot of chop, and to get the catamarans through that is really tricky. And what we've, you know, the general setup is, you know, in the really light conditions, you don't want a very deep sail, you know, so wind is just, there's not enough pressure, there's not enough wind to get round the sail. So you do need to try and flatten it off a little bit. I've definitely learned a lot as well this week from other boats going quite fast, and talking to the Australian guys yesterday and looking at their setup. It seemed like they've taken the tight rig setup quite far, and from what I've seen and what I've learned is in the lighter stuff, especially with the lowers, I think you can now go a little bit looser, you know, in the under 10 knots or in the under whatever knot it is that you're starting to sit on the side and start hiking. And obviously Terry's come along and set the boat up and with this setup, and he's running a lot looser lowers from what I am, and obviously again a lot looser from what most of the Australians are having. And I think that just allows the mast to bend a little bit to leeward as you're sailing upwind, and flattens the majority part of the sail. I did a test, went out one day with one lure is really loose and the other side standard, what I'd normally have, and took photos and scanned them, and definitely with the looser lower it's considerably, you're creating a considerably flatter sail. So that's the biggest thing I've kind of learned this week, and I'm going to definitely probably won't change much today, but next time I go in, the next time I get out, you know, have a look at that really light stuff, having the lowers looser. Like I was saying, as soon as you're starting to sit on the side and starting to hike, I think then you can go back to the tighter lowers, because it restricts the mast, how much it bends in the middle, and creates quite a powerful sail shape. Yeah, then with the Cunningham, I've just been snugging it a little bit, just to remove sort of these, well, when it's really loose, it's Cunningham that side, and you're getting these wrinkles sort of going up when the main chasson coming down. So the other day I was just trying to remove them. You don't want too much Cunningham, because it's going to drag the draft too far forward, and in the light breeze the wind won't be able to get round the sail shape, and it also just opens out the leech a little bit. You should be able to see, yeah, as you go obviously quite extreme, it's opening that leech at the top and allowing the wind to exhaust off the back. And if you have too much round with like that, then the wind's going to break off, it won't stay attached all the way, and it'll break off early, creating turbulence and drag in theory. So you get, obviously this is extreme, you wouldn't have this much, but to show, it's obviously opening the leech quite a lot, creating a straighter sail shape out the back, and causing, you know, allowing the wind to flow all the way across. Obviously no bang, and outhaul. I've been running about 100 mils off the centre line of the, and the light stuff, about 100 mils off the centre line of the boom. I kind of looked at it the other day when I'm in my most powerful, most deep outhaul setting. It's about 200 to 250, and then that was probably for the downwind, and then upwind when you're sitting on the side and hiking is about 150, and then in the light and as it's starting to get heavier, 100 mils, and when it's numbing, you can go pretty much as tight as you want. The out haul again is quite a good control for the lower leech of the sail, and if you're looking at going for a low and fast mode, you can have a bit more out haul on, because again, just notice that lower batten, it can with a lot of out haul on, it straightens out that lower edge of the sail, lower back of the sail, and then having more out haul, as you can see, it rounds it up. Again, a good control for low mode or high mode. You know, obviously low mode being tighter, high mode being looser and more rounder, but obviously with that shape there, you might get a bit of height, but it's not going to be fast. So if you're pinching to a mark or something for a small amount of time, you can afford to just ease a little out haul and to make the mark, but just be careful you don't get caught with that too long, because you won't be very fast. Thoughts? Anyone? Rotation. I'm pretty set on my rotation, which is about halfway between the front of the center case and the side stay. I haven't really played around too much with that. Again, maybe you could have a little bit less rotation in the light, but like I say, I haven't played around too much with that. So maybe some other guys that have done a bit more or done a bit might know. I might have an opinion on rotation, but I've kind of haven't mucked around too much. Just found a good setting and for upwind and stuck to it. So.
Rotation, not just to throw something in.
Yeah.
If you let it out, this becomes softer, but the telltales flow less because you've created a deep section through the sail,
Yeah.
the mast, so that lifts your section shape deep. But because you've rotated it, made the mast softer, this becomes a bit easier. So then if you can pull that with your downhaul, this becomes really soft and you're not stalled out. Yeah.
So that's obviously a lot of rotation.
Yeah. You can see the sectional shape is now slightly less.
Yeah.
But the sails, telltales think it's deeper because you've got a big wedge of mast. So you've got to have that understand that there's an air pocket there of circulating air, but the overall sail is sort of flatter, which is probably what you're doing.
You're sucking out a little luff too, aren't you, when you do that?
Yeah.
Notice with a lot of these north sails, you get these like triangles coming off of your stays right on the luff. Is that because you're not getting enough bend in the mast, or is that bad intention, or where? See how you can kind of see it here. You got these wrinkles.
Like there, or more?
You can see it
more
running
that one?
from here to there and back, and you get it on often on several of the battens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit. It's probably a little bit of bad intention. This one is a small amount there.
Yeah,
but
because
it's
it ends
just
up
probably
pointing right on the battens.
okay.
I don't know if you can see it from where you get down.
See it from this
You
end.
can probably see it quite easy from that end.
You pull your downhaul, it takes it out on it.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Haven't really. Well, I've noticed it, but I haven't really worried too much.
Yeah.
So there's a slight difference in the shape of the batten and the sail.
So what about